When there are a lot of job opportunities in a country like Canada, there are also competitors for those jobs. That is why you need to stand out. There are some common mistakes you need to avoid, as well as some strategies you need to adapt. The first thing to know is polish your resume. You are coming into a new country or a new city, and employers sometimes have a way they want to see the resume. For Canadian employers, you need to highlight your work experience. That is what their interest is. They want to be sure you can do the job. Your resume should always be tied to the specific job you're applying for. Do not submit a generic resume that you submit to every other job for that job unless you're not ready to stand out. You want to be able to tell them exactly what your experience are and how it is tied to the job you're applying for. So if you're applying for a job of an accountant, you don't want to be using resume where it's geared towards customer service representative. Although that skill is needed, but you want to be able to highlight your accounting experience in that job. And also, do not include irrelevant things in your resume. Irrelevant things can be you're trying to apply for, let's say, a nursing job, and you're putting in your resume that you have been a marketing manager before. Like, how does that even relate? So make sure that your resume are tailored to the specific job. So if you want to apply for a job of, let's say, financial analyst or a business analyst or a computer programmer, you want to be able to highlight all the work experience that relates to those specific jobs. And don't forget that highlighting your work experience doesn't mean you need to leave some things out. There are some things that you also need to put in there, and those things are called the skills. Some skills like your communication skills, your analytical skills, depending on the job you're applying for, your ability to be able to work under pressure, and so on and so forth. These skills should be highlighted in your resume based on the job. There are some jobs that might not require those skills, so just take it out. So in essence, make sure you tailor your resume to that particular job you're applying for. Now, is it okay to add a cover letter? Yes and no. If the job doesn't require you to have a cover letter in it, there is no need to put a cover letter. And you also want to solidify your work experiences and why you are the best fit for the job for that employer if a cover letter is required. The second thing you need to know is narrow your search. You are coming into a new country and you're looking for a job. You cannot be looking for any job. Try and be specific in your search. However, don't be too narrow. So narrowing your search includes like getting the field you want to work in and you want to apply for, and also getting the city you want to apply to. It can be a province or a city. So if you come to Canada, we have different provinces. So let's say you end up in Ontario and you're looking for a job. If you're looking for a job in, let's say, British Columbia, part of what you want to include in your resume is the ability to relocate upon getting the job. The second thing you need to know is to target opportunities that best fit your experience. If you do not have experience in a particular area, do not bother applying for those jobs. Canadian employers work with experience a lot. They want to be sure you are able to do the job. The second thing you need to know is if you haven't moved to any province in Canada yet and you have a career path in mind and you want to apply in a particular career area, you want to look at the cities that really fit those areas or that have more opportunities. Let's give an instance. If you move to Canada and you are more of the IT tech kind of person, or that's your career path, you want to move to bigger cities where there are lots of jobs. For example, you want to move to Toronto where there are a lot of IT jobs there. The third thing you need to know is you need to be aware of essential websites and more information. Now, there is a Government of Canada job bank that you can definitely explore. I'm going to have the link on my description box below. This website contains most job listings in Canada. Go in there, search for jobs and see where you fit. Another resource you will need is a resource that talk about coming to Canada, where to get your first job, how to get your social insurance number, and all the other information you need. It is in the Government of Canada website, and I have the link in my description box as well. The fourth thing you need to know is where to search for jobs. There are different job search sites that you can actually explore when you come to Canada, and the one I use the most is Indeed. There are also others called the Workopolis, Monster, Echo Canada, WorkInNonProfits.ca. Next is you need to learn how to network. Now, networking can be very useful, especially when you move to a new country as Canada. Networking can be through LinkedIn, where you have access to so many recruiters, and also you can use Facebook to network. You can see people in different professional fields, send them messages, ask for mentorship. Another thing networking can do for you is when you move to a country or a new city, you want to look for some social gathering or event for professionals, just to actually network with people from different professional backgrounds. Now, another thing that will help you with your job search when you move to Canada is having a strong recommendation. Now, when you put in an application, some employers will ask you to add some additional information. To improve your chances, you can definitely add a letter of recommendation if you have very good ties with your previous employer. Now, another thing to note is brush up your interview skills. Now you know what you want to put in your resume. You want to tailor your resume towards the job. It's time for an interview. Your resume has been able to skate through that process. Now, in the interview process, one common thing that Canadian employers ask for is using the STAR technique. STAR technique simply means situation, task, action, and results. First, you want to talk about the situation you were in. What was the event surrounding that particular question you're about to answer? What did you do? So what was your task? What were you assigned to do? Your action. What did you do? How did you walk through that assignment? And the result, what was the outcome? So you need to be able to answer your interview question based on the STAR technique. And in doing an interview, you don't want to overthink. You don't want to be talking to the employer and you're thinking of a scenario. Personally, I would advise you to write out scenarios from your previous experience that are related to the job you're going to interview for. Then no matter what happens, you're able to use that scenario, that example. Sometimes write 5 examples, different scenarios from your previous experience that will most likely be something you can use or start with to be able to explain to that employer that you're able to do the job. And also, if you're going for an in-person interview, try to dress well. Dressing well doesn't mean you need to dress extravagant. Try to dress as professional as you can, depending on the job you're going for. And also, dressing well, it's more like a first impression thing to that employer. Another thing to note is get accredited. Some of you are coming in with your country's educational certificate or your professional certificate from your country, which is different from what Canada employers know. So getting your certificate or your education kind of accredited by a Canadian body will give you an edge where employers will be able to understand, and they can be able to at least equate your credentials or your certificate to the Canadian standard. That way, when you're applying for, let's say, a financial accounting job and you have an ACCA, you can definitely get it certified by the CPA board in Canada and just get it recognized by that body, basically. Now, the last thing you need to know is keep at it. Getting a new job in a new country is easy, but sometimes for some people, it can take a longer time. So you need to keep applying for the job, keep tailoring your resume to specific jobs, not generic resume. Prepare for the interview, have scenarios in mind. Do not go there and start thinking of what you did in your job, because sometimes you might have done the job 5 years ago. So go there with scenarios for your interview, and also just keep applying. And trust me, there are lots of opportunities. If you just kind of follow the right step, you will be fine. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do not forget to add a comment down below. I look forward to you asking me different questions, and I definitely reply you as you know. And don't forget, subscribe, like, and share this video. I'll see you on my next video. Bye.